Welcome to today's session. We'll discuss the next part of renewable energy today. So again, I'm Roshan Bhagat. So we'll discuss the renewable energy system today. Last time we had a discussion relates to the solar energy introduction. So some other part which relates to the application, which relates to the things we'll see here. Now the today's learning objective is to study different types of solar collectors, concentrating and flat plate collectors, solar cookers, solar chimney, solar collectors advantages, disadvantages and its application. So this is the part we'll cover in this today's session. So these are our objectives for today's case. So mostly we'll dealing with the application oriented part of solar energy, how it is actually utilized. Uh, Application of solar energy: heating, cooling, pumping, power production, distillation, drying, solar cookers, solar ponds, solar energy storage. So these are some methods of energy storage that we will discuss in detail in today's session. Now few part of that will mostly relates to the application of solar energy, how it is utilized. So one by one we'll see. First one, this the renewable energy sources. So we have considered last time several energy sources which are available. So in detail we are mostly dealing with the solar energy application today. So this is a liquid flat plate collector. You can observe a liquid flat plate collector. It is consist of a glass cover. So the glass cover is there. Inside we have a absorber area that is normally absorbing all the radiation which are falling onto the surface. So the solar radiations are transmitted through this transparent cover and they are reaching to the inside surface. The water it is coming in from this direction, the water is coming out in the other direction. So hot water is coming out, the cold water is coming in. So this water it is circulated through the tubes. These tubes are mounted on the absorber so that whenever the solar radiations are falling onto the absorber, heat is transferred to the tube and through this tube the heat is transferred to the water which is available inside. So in this way the heat transfer will take place, the water will get heated and this heated water can be used for further application. So the few things has to be remembered for this liquid flat plate collector is that it is used for heating the liquid, that is used for heating the water. So the temperatures which are achieved with the help of this liquid flat plate collectors are comparatively less. Only up to 70 degrees Celsius we can achieve the temperature, 70 or 90 degrees Celsius we can achieve the temperature. We cannot go more than 90 or degrees Celsius of temperature. So this is, we say, the temperature limit for the liquid flat plate collector. So it can be easily used for some applications like heating of water, or it can be used for taking bath if the temperatures are somewhat less, or it can be used for some other industrial work or industrial process where the temperature requirements are less. So in such cases the liquid flat plate collectors are used. Now there are different types of collectors. This is a flat plate collector. We have concentrating type of collector also, but we'll discuss this concentrating collector in the subsequent slides. So right now coming back to this liquid flat plate collector, so you always require some glass cover at the top. So this glass cover actually preventing the losses which may take place because of radiation from inside to outside. Whatever the walls which are provided over here, these walls should prevent the heat flow to the surrounding. So in order to minimize the losses which are taking place because of heat, so this should be a well insulated container, and the inside surface should be absorber which should be coated with black color to absorb almost all amount of radiation which are falling on it, so as to have the maximum heat transfer to the fluid which is available inside. One thing has to be remembered is while the water which is supplied, in this case the water should be free from salts and other foreign particles. What will happen if there are salts and sediments? It will deposit on the inside surface and that will create, we say, the that will prevent the flow of heat, and we say the heat will not be effectively utilized. So this is one thing that has to be understood. Second thing, the glass cover should always be kept clean. So some maintenance is always required in terms of the glass cover so that the solar radiation will reach to the absorber surface. A well insulated walls are always required to prevent the heat loss to the surrounding. So the thing is to prevent the foreign particles which are coming with the water. So the water should not be having mud with it. so that will prevent the further heat transfer, or sometimes it may create the blockages inside the tubes also. So these things has to be remembered as far as the liquid flat plate collector is concerned. Now this is again one of the application which is the solar water heater, which we normally use at our home. So this is considered to be again the flat plate collector. So there are a few things that can be done. In some cases you might use water directly can be circulated. In some cases what you can have is you can use two different working fluids, primary fluid and secondary fluid. So if the temperature requirements are different, in such cases we can use some heat exchanger kind of arrangement also. So we say the primary fluid will transfer heat to the secondary fluid. So secondary fluid, it can be considered to be water in this particular case. So whatever the water, it has to be used for some applications, maybe for bath, or maybe for industrial process, or maybe for some kitchen operation or household operation. So in that cases the hot water can be utilized. So there can be two arrangements, either it can be a primary fluid or it can be a secondary fluid. So here in this, whenever we are using a heat exchanger, it means we are using two fluids, primary and a secondary fluid. Now this should be, the solar water heater should be always be exposed to the sunlight, wheresoever we don't have we say the shadows and all these things are falling. In that cases we are not supposed to keep the solar this flat plate collector there. So wheresoever the ample amount of sunlight is falling throughout the day, in that place only you have to keep this flat plate collector. Now solar flat plate collector was used for heating the water. Now there is one which is used for heating the air also. At some regions, if you require the heated air to be for some applications, maybe for drying of grains, or to remove the moisture which is present in the we can say some like wood, or if you want to dry out some certain things. In such cases, if you require some heated air, so this can be done with the help of a solar air heater. Again remember, solar water heater, it is used for heating the water. Same way we can heat the air. So this heated air can be used for grain drying, or it can be used for some other industrial purpose, or it can be used for maintaining the temperature of room also. So this is what is the use of the solar air heater. Okay, so what we have is just like the similar arrangement we have seen in case of the solar water heater. The similar kind of things can be observed with the help of a solar air heater. So air is coming in, the air is going out. So the air which is going out, it must be a heated one. And we say again some box, same kind of box will be there. Only this box will be subjected to the flow of air instead of the flow of water. Some different arrangements will be required, because if you are considering the air which is flowing, so we don't have any kind of leakage or kind of thing. So you must use some kind of pins inside the box, and this inside box should always be coated with some absorber, which absorbing material, which will absorb almost all amount of radiation which is falling on it. So the solar collectors, not only a flat plate type, there are also concentrating type of collectors also. So here are some arrangements which shows the concentrating type of collector. If you observe the first one, we say in case of concentrating type of collector, the absorber surface is different and the reflector surface is different. So this was not the case with the flat plate collector. Here in case of concentrating collector, the reflector surface is different and the absorbing surface is the different. So you must you must require a highly reflective surface in case of a concentrating collector. In flat plate collector, you require highly absorbing surfaces. So this is how that basic difference between the concentrating collector and a flat plate collector. Again, the flat plate collectors, the temperatures are limited up to 70 or 90 degrees Celsius. In case of concentrating collector, the temperatures can be reached more than 90 degrees Celsius. So that is one of the advantages of using a concentrating type of a collector. So the temperatures well above 90 degrees Celsius can be easily achieved with the help of a concentrating type of a collector. So this is regarding to the first arrangement. So we can have n number of reflectors. So wheresoever the temperature requirements are more, in such cases we can use n number of reflectors also. So other thing is it can also be used for converting water into steam. So just like a coal thermal power plant uses boiler for producing steam, same way n number of reflectors can be used for getting the higher value of temperature, and this can be further used for converting water into a steam. A dish type of arrangement can also be used in case of a concentrating type of a collector. So there are different concentrating type of collector arrangements are there. Some of them are shown in this particular image. So see one by we'll see one by one. Now this is one example of concentrating type of collector. Now you can observe here the water it is coming in, and the water we say it will be heated because of higher value of it. So here you can observe the arrow. Initially it is about blue color, then it is a red in color. So it means the heated fluid is coming out, the fluid is coming in, the fluid is, so whatever the solar radiations which are falling on the this particular reflector, they are reflecting the radiation on the absorber. So this pipe will be called as the absorber. So this is how we say the heat is actually transferred to the absorber, and from that we say the heating of the fluid will takes place. So this is one arrangement of solar concentrating. Now again the similar thing, the solar radiations are which are reflected from the reflecting surfaces, and it is absorbed through a absorber. So this pipe is considered to be the absorber over here. So you can observe a blue arrow, and it is coming out as a red arrow. So hot fluid is coming out. So one of the things that has to be understood in case of concentrating collector, you always require highly reflecting surfaces. So highly reflective coating has to be installed onto the reflector. So this is the one thing in terms of a maintenance of a concentrating type of a collector. Now where if you require very high temperatures, in such cases n number of concentrating collectors can be connected with respect to each other. So in such cases or we can say if you require these things in on large quantities, in such cases you can have n number of concentrating collectors connected with respect to each other, and that will be used for getting the heated value of a heated fluid. So heat exchanger unit can also be used, say if the temperatures are quite higher than 90 or 100 degrees Celsius. In such cases the water may convert it into steam. So in such cases you might go for some alternative option, some other fluid can also be utilized. So as we are discussed earlier, if just like a conventional thermal power plant we are aware of, the same conventional thermal power plant can be replaced with the solar collectors and number of solar collectors which are reflecting the radiation at a single point. So that will be called as a receiver. So this receiver will act as a, we can say, the solar radiation absorbing medium, and in that cases the water will be converted into a steam. So it can act as a boiler in a solar thermal power plant. So remaining arrangement will be same as the conventional power plant, but only instead of boiler we are having one arrangement which is used for converting water into a steam. Now next thing, we have seen a flat plate collector, we have seen a concentrating type of collectors. Now the next thing is the evacuated tube type of a collectors. Now this is the latest technology which is actually utilized. Now what was the drawback of the flat plate collector, or what are the drawbacks of concentrating collector? So these are actually eliminated in case of a evacuated tube type of a collector. Now we'll see one by one what is the drawback. Now in case of flat plate collector, what happens, the solar radiations are not normal to the surface every time throughout the day. It is normal to the surface only in the afternoon, not in the morning, not in the evening. So this was one of the disadvantage of a flat plate collector. Now in case of concentrating collector, say in case of concentrating collector, you always need to have some tracking of sun. So that is one of the disadvantage of the, you can say, concentrating type of collector. You always require to maintain the highly reflecting surfaces. Now the drawbacks of these earlier methods are actually eliminated with the help of a evacuated tube type of a collector. So here you can observe the evacuated tube type of collector. It is a circular tube is there. So this circular tube is act as absorber. So solar radiation, whether you are in the morning, whether you are in the afternoon, or whether you are in the evening, always the solar radiations are normal to the surface, and that's why as the solar radiations are normal to the surface, maximum solar energy is utilized, and that is considered to be one of the advantages of using a evacuated tube type of a collector. So nowadays whatever the solar water heaters are used, they are the evacuated tube type of a collector. So that is a latest technology which is used. Flat plate collector has certain disadvantages. But again, the flat plate collector has some advantages as it can absorb both beam and diffuse radiation. Okay, that is one of the advantages of a flat plate collector. Concentrating collector, they are subjected to direct sunlight, so in case of diffuse radiations they might not work properly. That is one of the disadvantage. Evacuated tube type of collector, they are the advantages of both, and we say the eliminate whatever the disadvantages are there, these disadvantages are actually eliminated in case of a evacuated tube type of a collector. So the solar radiation is actually normal to the surface. Solar radiation is normal to the surface, and that's why the maximum utilization of solar energy is taking place. So this is what we have discussed earlier. So whether you are in the morning, whether you are in the afternoon, or whether you are in the evening, throughout that we have the solar radiation normal to the surface, as the absorber is of circular in shape, so that's why the effective utilization of solar energy is there. So this is one of the advantages of using the evacuated tube type of a collector. So even at low sunlight also you are having comparatively better performance as compared to the other two types of a collector. So this is one of the advantage of a evacuated tube type of a collector. Now let us see some of the indices, performance indices. Collector efficiency, it is defined as the energy actually absorbed and transferred to the heat transport fluid by the collector to the energy incident on a collector. So this is called as the collector efficiency. Next one, a concentration ratio. It is defined as the ratio of area of aperture of the system to the area of receiver. The aperture of the system is the projected area of the collector facing the beam radiation. Temperature range, it is the range of temperature to which the heat transfer fluid is heated up by the collector. So this is the performance indices. Some few terms we have discussed. Now see some of the advantages of flat plate collector. We say the simple in construction, no tracking of sun, so you don't need to actually track the sun in case of a flat plate collector. So that is one of the advantage of a flat plate collector. Require little maintenance, so you don't require to track the sun, so there are no moving parts. Other thing, you don't require highly reflective surfaces, so that is this kind of maintenance are actually eliminated in case of a flat plate collector. Other thing is it absorbs both and beam and diffuse radiation, that is also one of the advantage. The simple stationary design, you don't need to track the sun, so that is we say a stationary design. So this is one of the advantages. Beam radiation has unique direction, so can withstand the harsh environmental condition also. So if the harsh environmental conditions are also there, it is recommended to you go for flat plate type of a collector. So area from which heat loss takes place is large. So this is actually some of the disadvantages of flat plate collector. High temperatures cannot be achieved. So this is one of the disadvantage of flat plate collector. Low density per unit area, large ground area is required. So this is one of the disadvantages of a flat plate collector. Now next thing, advantages of concentrating collector. Reflecting surface required less material and are structurally simpler than the flat plate collector. Cost per unit area is less. Absorber area is smaller in concentrated system than that of a flat plate collector system. That is one of the advantage. Higher temperatures can be achieved. So the temperature limitations up to 70 or 90 degrees Celsius. So this higher temperatures can also be easily achieved with the help of a concentrating type of a system. Can be used for electricity power generation as we have discussed. So it can be used for electricity power generation because the temperatures are well above 100 degrees Celsius, can be easily achieved, so it can be used for power generation. Energy density is more, little or no antifreeze required to protect the absorber in a and concentrated. So this is we say some of the advantages. Parameters affecting the performance. Selective surface coating, if the coating we say what we are selecting, so this coating should be like say it should be completely reflecting or it should be completely absorbing. So these things affects the performance. Number of covers, so number of transparent cover also affect the performance because in order to minimize the losses it is recommended to use two numbers of transparent cover. Spacing, then collector tilt, dust onto the top of the cover. If dust accumulation is there, again we say the heat will not reach to the absorber. So this is again some of the things that affects the performance of a system. Now say Q is equal to A IC. IC will be called as intensity of radiation, tau coefficient of transmission, alpha is called as coefficient of absorption, and the combined product is called as effective transmission and absorptance product, where U is overall heat loss coefficient, T in the collector fluid inlet temperature, and TA is considered to be the ambient temperature. So with this we can calculate we say the useful heat output of a flat plate collector. The useful heat output of flat plate collector can be calculated with the help of this particular formula. So this is useful as far as the solving a numerical as well as for calculating the efficiency of flat plate collector, efficiency of collector. In such cases we used to have this particular formula, where A is area of collector, I is intensity of radiation, tau is coefficient of transmission, alpha is coefficient of absorption, U is overall heat loss coefficient, T in collector fluid inlet temperature, TA is the ambient temperature. Now again, one application of solar energy, it is considered to be solar chimney. So the solar chimney, it can be used again for power generation, just like say our wind turbine can be installed at the center location. So the flow of wind which is taking place because of heating of air, so that results in the rotation, or we can say the flow of air, and that flow of air is responsible for the rotations of a wind turbine. So this is one of the application which can be used for generating the electricity. But one thing, the complications with this particular method is that you require a flexible chimney, so it cannot be a rigid structure. It requires a transparent cover. Transparent cover means just like we say the sunlight should reach to the surface, and that because of this heat will be trapped within that particular transparent cover, and that heat will heat the air, and this heated air will have tendency to flow outside. So in this case, you are just like a chimney like a structure is always required, but this chimney structure should be a flexible one. So floating kind of chimney is required in such cases, but constructing this particular chimney is quite difficult. But still, this is one of the alternative source from which the electricity can be generated. So this is an example of a solar chimney. Now next thing is a solar furnace. So there might be a question, can we attain a very high temperature that is sufficient to melt a metal? Yes, we can achieve that particular temperature also, provided that we have some n number of we can say concentrating arrangements are provided, and this concentrating arrangement are we can say reflecting radiation at a single point. So at that single point very high temperatures can also be easily achieved. So this is a case of a solar furnace. So a metal can also be melted with the help of a solar furnace. So temperatures well above 300 we say 1000 degrees Celsius can be achieved with the help of a solar furnace. Sometimes it is more than 2000 degrees Celsius also. Next thing is a solar furnace. So solar furnace, that is the same thing. It can also be used for melting metal. So this is again the animation which shows completely how the solar furnace is actually working. So you require some n number of concentrating arrangements. So the area requirements are quite large as far as the solar furnace is concerned. So high temperatures can also be achieved, but we require a large cutting area. Next thing is the box type of solar cooker. Now what is a box type of solar cooker? It is used for cooking the food. So it can be used for cooking the food, for example for 1 hour. Solar cooker, it can be used for preparing food for 2 or 3 people. Say one of the thing is that it has to be exposed to the surrounding. You require highly absorbing surfaces. The inside surface should be coated with the black. You have to keep pots over there, cooking pots, so that will prepare the food. Again, one thing has to be remember over here is you require reflecting surfaces. So this can be used for preparing food for 2 or 3 people, not more than 2 or 3. But one of the these are regarding to the advantage is that you are not requiring any external fuel. That is one thing. You are utilizing completely the solar energy. That is one of the advantages. Well, let us talk some of the disadvantages regarding to that. Now disadvantage is that it has to be exposed to the sunlight. So when the sunlight is more, in that cases only you will be preparing your food. If the cloudy conditions are there, you might not be able to prepare the food. Second thing, it has to be kept exposed to the atmosphere or exposed to the sunlight. So this cooking is called as the outdoor cooking. So you require continuous monitoring in that particular case. This is one of the disadvantages. So continuous monitoring is required in case of a this particular type of a cooker. So again, the food cannot be prepared for more than 3 or 4 people. So that is, we say again, the other thing is the limitation of temperature. So temperatures are not higher, so the cooking operation will require higher heat, so that cannot be done with the help of this type of a box type of a solar cooker. So these are some of the disadvantages. Now next, some solar cooking pots for some small applications like heating of water, heating of milk, or boiling of water. In some cases, this kind of solar cooking pots can be utilized. Now next thing is the solar desalination. So if you might have seen this kind of thing at many places, like if the salt water is available, you don't have access to the fresh water. In such cases, the salt water can be evaporated, and that results in we say it can be used for converted into a fresh water. Now let us see the simple technique how it can be done. For example, you have a container which you have a salt water which is available. So the salt water, let us keep one container at the in between the salt water, and this salt water cover have a plastic wrap on it, and keep a one stone or one heavy thing on the center. So what will happen, because of the heat which is trapped, the some of the evaporation will take place, and that results in the droplets of water which are collected at the central container. So this is one of the example from which we can say the salt water can be converted, saline water can be converted into a fresh water. So this is the arrangement which you will understand more precisely. So you have one container which contains salt water. So keep a central cup over there, have a plastic wrap, and this plastic wrap, because of solar radiation falling, so this plastic wrap on the bottom side, it will we can say absorb the droplets. These droplets will go towards the center portion, and that will collected into the cup. So at the cup we have a fresh water which is available. So this is simple arrangement for desalination. Now next thing is a solar disinfection. Now what is called as solar disinfection? If the water, if you are just like what at our home we used to purify the water, or we used to boil the water so as to have disinfection, the similar kind of thing can be done with the help of solar energy also, provided that we have polyethylene terephthalate bottles that are also called as PET bottles. One thing has to be remembered is that PET bottles are different from the conventional or the bottles which you see in the market. So the difference is we say uh, these are more specific suitably used for say disinfection. So whatever the normal bottle or conventional bottles we used to observe, because of sunlight, after some use they becomes green, or you can observe some kind of things inside. So this doesn't happen in case of a polyethylene terephthalate bottles. So we'll discuss this in detail regarding how these things can be done. First thing is you have to wash the bottle. Second thing, fill up the water in that particular bottle. Then keep this bottle exposed to the sunlight. It can be best on corrugated sheets, which is on the, you can say at in villages we observe the corrugated sheet house. So on the roof of that we can keep this bottle, expose this to sunlight, let us say for some 5 to 6 hours. So if it is exposed to 5 to 6 hours, so the whatever the water which is available inside, it is ready for a consumption. So one thing, this is we say this particular system doesn't require any external fuel. It is using your solar energy for disinfection. One thing has to be remember is the water which is to be disinfected, it should not be too much turbid. So up to certain extent only we say this method is suitable. If you have too much of turbid water, then in such cases it might not be possible to have a disinfection. So this particular method, again, some of the disadvantage is that you require ample amount of sunlight over there. You require PET bottles, polyethylene terephthalate bottles only. So that cannot be done with the conventional bottle. So this is one of the disadvantages of system. If the cloudy conditions are there, then in such cases probably you might not we can say have the disinfection. So this is one of the disadvantages. Advantages is that at some places like if you don't have the heated source, like if you don't have gas, natural gas for heating the water, in such cases you can use this particular method. Now guidelines for applications: water filling in the bottle from contaminated source, exposed to sunlight, corrugated, keep it on the corrugated roof, refilling in the container if the sunny conditions are there, 50% cloudy, then in such cases we say it will be affected, time required will be more. If it is 100% cloudy, we say no performance, it will not disinfect the water. So this is some of the guidelines. Now wash the bottle, fill the bottle fully, close lid, place the bottle onto the corrugated sheet, expose the bottle to sun at least for 6 hours. The water is ready for consumption. So this is how the guidelines has to be followed. Caution: the length of time, if the cloudy conditions are there, the time required might be more. Bottle material, now whatever the bottle has to be used, it should be polythene terephthalate only. If you are using other, so that is not suitable. Aging of plastic bottle will take place if you are using a normal bottles. Shape of the container, again that is also responsible, it should be exposed to sunlight, so the shape should be somewhat circular in shape. Next thing, we say whatever the water it has to be used, it should be more amount of oxygen present in it. So leaching of bottle material, so this kind of things can happen. Application of SODIS. So where we should use solar disinfection, unavailability of cooker, unavailability of fuel, expensive fuel, if you require eco-friendly method, in such cases you can use. Not suitable for highly turbine water. Okay, so if it is too much turbine, then it is not recommended. If enough bottles are available, you can go with this. In disaster reliefs, that is quite good method. When if let's say a flood situation is there, in such cases this particular arrangement can be used. Now see some of the application. Now this is one example where we say it can be used for pumping the water. So solar energy, it can be used for pumping water. So actually solar panels are used over here. Next thing is a solar radio. So it can be used for powering some small devices like radio also. So the solar radio can be worked with the help of solar energy. So this is again one of the application of a solar. Now next thing is the printing press. We say the printing press can also work with the help of solar energy. So this particular arrangement can be utilized. Now solar energy for generation of electricity. Say one of the application is the solar energy. It can be used for generation of electricity. So this is what is required. When the sunlight is available, only that cases we can utilize this solar energy. If the cloudy conditions are there, the power output will also be affected. So this is in general regarding to we have seen related to solar energy. We have seen some of the applications. We have seen solar water heater. We have seen solar air heater. We have seen some of the advantages of solar heater. We have seen some of the disadvantages. Then we have seen concentrating collector. We have seen the evacuated tube type of collector. That is the latest technology which is used. So if you like the session, hit the like button. So this is regarding to solar energy. Thank you for attending this session. If there are any such queries, you drop the queries on this email ID which is provided over here. Thank you again for attending this session.